Hello, scrappy friends. Welcome to day 12 of our 12 cropping days of Christmas. We made it. We are on the final day of the series. It has been so much fun. I want to say thank you to everybody who has encouraged me through liking my videos, watching my videos, and or leaving a comment. That really kept me motivated to keep going. It's actually really hard to put out 12 videos in 23 days. I don't usually publish that many that quickly on YouTube. I feel like I'm always doing something somewhere online, but when I sit down to do 12 and keep up with anything else, and being on vacation and everything, it was like, wow, that is pretty difficult. But you guys all kept me motivated by encouraging me through your comments and your likes. So thank you so much for doing that. And let's go ahead and jump into today's layout. So for today's layout, I am going to jump over here to page 112. Let me go ahead and put this up on the screen and we'll take a closer look at it. This is a really fun layout. It's not a block. It's not a band. It has a little bit of a band, but it's not a traditional band layout. This is just a basic layout with several different layers of paper, and some of those are going vertically and some are going horizontally. And then it's just some embellishments and of course the photos. So they have 6 photos on here, and I'm going to need to get 12 because today is day 12. So I need to double the amount of photos. So come on back to my desk and I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do for today. But before we go to my desk, let me say one more thing about this sketch. Of all the sketches I have done so far, I was easily able to find them over on the Creative Memories blog. But this one, I couldn't find. I couldn't find it on the blog. I searched all my different ways of searching the blog and I couldn't find it. So I'm not sure if this one was ever posted on the blog or not. So if somebody can find it, let me know in the comments the title of the blog post and I will update my description. But right now there is no link to the blog post in my description of this video. Okay, now come on back to my desk and now I'll show you what I'm going to use today. Okay, so I have some border stickers here and I'm hoping to get some used. I haven't used as many as I would have liked in this series, but that's quite all right. I love my border stickers and I'm okay with putting them back into my stash for another year, but I would like to get some on this layout today. Of course, I have my 12 photos and I brought in some map cards. Now, I won't be using all of these. I just haven't decided which ones I want to use yet. Then for my paper, I'm going to use these 3 different papers to make all those different layers that we saw on the sketch. So I'm going to bring in the plaid, the candy cane, and the circles. This one is from the Avocado Totally Tonal pack. Okay, and then I have 2 sheets here of insert papers that I'm going to use the back sides of to kind of house my papers on, because I will have to do some creative cutting because this is my last large sheet of these 2 and I'm going to have to figure out ways to utilize that on both pages. And then since I have so many photos to get on my layout, I am going to pull in an 8.5 by 11 pocket page. So that is a little bit of a cheater. It's not a full page in between, but it's a pretty good, more than half the size. And I'm going to add my extra photos here. These staples will line up in my album and it'll be a little half page in between my layout. So stay tuned for that. I'll decorate this one at the end. This is a side loading pocket and it comes with the cardstock. So I'll probably decorate right on top of there. Because of that, I went through all the scraps in my kit and found the ones that match my papers that I pulled out. So these are all the scraps I have available in case I need it to do the decorating here or even on the main layout. And the only thing I didn't pull in is this. I don't have any scraps of the green yet. Okay, so let me put all this away and we're going to go ahead and get started. I went ahead and put the sketch up there so you can follow along. Let's do all of the cutting first and then we will assemble the page. So what I'm assuming they did in the layout is they used 2 pieces of their background piece, one for each side. And I don't have 2 pieces of this plaid, so I'm going to have to do some welding. But if you know me, I was probably going to do some welding anyway because I wouldn't want to use 2 whole pieces if I didn't have to. I kind of wrote my own measurements for this, and I'm pretty sure it's going to work out. But what I decided was I need a 1/2 inch of the plaid at the bottom of both pages. So I need to cut 2 strips at a 1/2 inch. And then what I need is for the top part, I need to do a 5.5 inch cut, and that should leave me with 2 5.5 inch pieces. Okay, or roughly thereabout, when there's a little bit of variance with the papers. Okay, now that's going to give the illusion that it starts at the top and goes all the way down to the bottom, but then across the middle, I will put some other paper. I'm going to bring in this red candy cane paper. There's a band running across the bottom, and at the top and the bottom of the band, there's some paper exposed, candy cane paper for that. And so I need a 1 inch strip 2 times for the top of that photo band. That's a 1 inch and another 1 inch. And then for the bottom, I'm going to change my blade and do a fancy cut because that's what they did and I liked it. So I think I'll use wave. I can't tell. I think they used wave in theirs, but it could be the scallop going the other direction. But I'm going to use the wave. Haven't used this one in a while. So I'm going to do another 1 inch cut. And so it has just a little bit of a treatment. Nothing too exciting, but I don't even know if you can see that. There we go. And I could turn this one around and change my blade back and give myself one more cut right there. Okay, so I have 2 with the treatments, 2 without. Now, how much do we have left? We used 4 inches, so we should have about 8. I really wanted to use the other side with the words, so let's go ahead and try it. We'll see if it works. If not, I might have to bring in some colored cardstock. Now what we need is the strip that's running vertical down the page, and for that I'm going to bring in this green, and I'm going to need about a 3 inch strip, it looks like. It's okay if our measurements are a little bit off. We can either maybe trim them down or we just go with it, right? Not going to be the end of the world if mine is 3 inches and it's supposed to be 2.5. Nobody will ever know. Okay, and that's my cutting for the layout. Okay, so here's our 2 pieces of background, and we are basically just going to wallpaper everything on here. So I'm going to put the 2 plaid pieces running across the top. Now I got really lucky with the top. They look like those lines match up pretty well. Won't be so lucky down here, but that's okay. It won't be that noticeable. There we go. And then I'll take this piece and run it down. Let me separate those so we can see them. About a 1/2 inch from the side. I'm going to run that down the page like that. And same thing on the second page. Then I'll bring in my red strips, and this one will go like that. You'll see how that paper just runs underneath. And then the top one will go like this. Then same thing on the other side. And now let's see if this fits in here. It does fit perfectly like that. So there we go. That's our page layout. And I'm going to pause and get everything adhered down, and then I will be back and we'll do some photo placement. Okay, hold on. Okay, I got all the paper layers adhered down, and then look what happened. Everything's measured the same. On this side, everything butted up nicely. But on this side, I have a little gap. And at first I was like, oh no, what am I gonna do? And then I remembered it's okay because in the sketch and in the inspiration, they brought in a border sticker and ran it right across the bottom. So perfect timing to bring in my border stickers. And I am just loving these gold ones. I don't have any gold on my layout, but I just think this is gonna pop. And I was gonna use it on a different layout and I cut it and then I didn't end up using it, but it's okay. It'll match up perfectly. So I'm gonna put this right across that opening. Add my little piece right here. There we go. And then the second one will go on the other page. I am just gonna line it up so this one might be a little bit off because I wanted to cover that piece. And there we go. Yeah, I like that. Let me get my photos and we'll do some photo placement. Now I'm only bringing in the photos that I'm going to use on this page. The rest of the photos I will add to the little insert. Okay, and I did have to cover up some of the faces just because I don't have permission to show them. This is our Christmas Eve celebration from last year, 2022. So pretty exciting that I'm already getting this scrapped. And that's what I love about my 12 cropping days of Christmas series is I have just been like all over the board in different years, but I'm getting so much Christmas accomplished. So that is really nice. So I'm going to put this one up here, probably going to mat it. That's what they did in the sketch. And I'm going to do the same thing and then have this picture. Now my photos are cut a little bigger than what they had. They had 4x4 photos here and I just cropped off some extra pieces that I didn't need. But I want my photos to be a little bit bigger, so I left them the way I need them from my scrapbook and it'll all work out. Okay, and then this one will go right here. And on this page, it'll go right here. That one will go up there. And then I have one horizontal that will fit just perfectly right here. Okay, so what am I gonna do about photo mats? I'm definitely gonna bring in some red and mat these two with red. And I'm thinking about matting these two. I just haven't decided what color. So I'm either gonna do navy blue or maybe some dark green, something to bring out the colors I already have in my layout. I decided on cranberry red for the two top mats, and on the bottom I pulled in some avocado green to go along with the green that I used over here for that vertical layer strip. Okay, so that's going to be my photo placement. Before I move on and adhere everything, I do want to bring in my journaling and my title area. That's what I had the mat cards for. And I think I'm going to do my mat card over here. I'm going to bring this photo in a little closer this way. And then I'm thinking this one for my journaling spot. So I'm thinking just kind of mirror it over on the other side. So I bring in some more red here and then some blue here, matches the blue down here, and then tuck this card over, or this photo over. For my title, I'm going to bring in a pre-made title that I had in my stash, and it's this little chipboard title that says Merry Christmas. It's in wood grain. Brown is a neutral color, so I feel like it goes with everything. And then I'm going to either I'll probably put it at an angle, and so I can do some embellishing right there. Right now I just have it on the backing of the sticker sheet that it came with, and I just trimmed around it so I could kind of see how it's going to fit on there. So I have a nice big card for that, and yeah, it looks good so far. So we are ready to embellish. But first I'm going to pause and get my photos and my mats adhered down. And while I'm doing that, if you don't mind taking a moment to click that like button, give me some love for this series. I have really been enjoying myself and I hope that you have too. I really do appreciate all the likes that you guys give me. It really is motivating. Go ahead and do that while I am gone getting this all adhered. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, everything is adhered down. I even went and loosely placed my title on there so we can see where that's going to sit. And we are ready to begin embellishing. Now I'm going to do a little different than what they had in the sketch. In the sketch, they have an embellishment area here and here, and then also on the corners of both these photos. But I kind of pushed my photos way up into the top, so I don't really have room right there. So what I'm going to do is I am going to do an embellishment cluster up here underneath my Merry Christmas title. Then I'm going to bring it some embellishing over here on my journaling mat. I have this huge journaling mat, and I just feel like it's going to need a little something as well. And then for my third cluster area, it's going to be right around over here, as I have all this open room also. So not a true visual triangle, because a visual triangle is supposed to bring your eye into the photos. But if you're bringing your eye in, you're not seeing much of the photo. You're seeing my one photo and this area. So it's more about adding some personal touches and use my pretty decorations, because this layout is primarily about getting on a lot of photos, right? Because I have these 6 plus 6 more I still have to add on the small page. So it's okay. There's really no rules in scrapbooking, just suggestions and ways for us to get started. So those are my areas. Let's go ahead and begin right up here. I'm going to bring in, I've been dying to use my poinsettias, so I'm going to bring them in on this layout. So I'm going to put a white one here. This one's already onto some foam. Didn't use it, I guess, on a previous layout. And then this one, I'm just going to tuck underneath and kind of scoot those together and kind of hanging off the edge right there. On the same sticker sheet that this Merry Christmas title was on, I had these little brown snowflakes. So I'm going to bring that right up here. So that'll give me my 3 items for my cluster. For this area right here, I am going to bring in some of these pre-made ornaments that I made using the Festive ornament punch. And I'll show you how I made these. I'll do a little video in this video like I've done in the past, and show you real quick how I made them. It's such a fun punch. And I'm going to put 3 going right down there. So it's kind of almost like that embellishment cluster is running continuously down. So I kind of like that. Over here, I'm going to bring in this die cut that has a little cardinal on it. I think that's super cute. And I'm just going to put it, let's see, like this. It's okay if it's overlapping that. I have some open area in that photo. Then I'm going to bring in another poinsettia to match this white one over here. And I'm going to put it just on top of the wreath like that. And just like I did over here, I'm going to bring in a brown chipboard snowflake, and I'm going to put that right there. So the little chipboard gives me a little bit of dimension in that embellishment cluster. I think that's all I'm going to do. I like it. I think it's coming along really great. I'm going to get all of this adhered down, and then I will bring in the pieces for the little insert, and we'll get going on the next 6 photos for this layout. Okay, so hold on, and while I'm getting this all adhered down, I will show you a quick video on how this festive ornament punch works. Okay, stay tuned. Okay, so let me show you very briefly how this festive ornament Build-A-Punch works. You'll see here on the front plate all these different pieces punch out every time you do one punch. Okay, so and if you turn it over, you'll see all the different elements in the punch as well. I have a couple different colors here. Of course, I picked my Christmas colors, and I highly recommend Creative Memories Shimmer Paper for this punch, because it comes out so beautiful. It gives just a little bit of glimmer that we expect to see on our Christmas ornaments. Let me start with the big piece of green. So you slide it in, you'll see the whole thing fits perfectly in there, and you're going to get a punch out of every piece. Okay, turn it over and punch, and there we go. We got all 5 different pieces. So what I did was I used a bunch of scraps, and I made several different punch outs. Now my red is not big enough, so maybe with my red I just want the ornaments, and I can get the ornament and one of the toppers and a little piece of trash. Turn it around to the other side, and you can get the other pieces that you didn't get the first time, and another piece of trash. So typically, make sure all comes out. typically when you're using it, you're not necessarily going to get a lot of trash. You'll just get the 5 pieces, and you want to make sure they all fall out each time. Okay, then we have some of this bronze shimmer. Again, it's not wide enough, so I'm just going to, and I just made a bunch of different colors. I did some Christmas colors and some non-traditional Christmas colors. And then I just put the pieces in a little tray. So this is a little compartment. So over here I housed the big body part of the ornament. And in the center I put the little caps. That way I could easily access them. And then the third compartment I just put all the little decorations. Okay, then you just take one body. I'm gonna bring in my silicone mat here just to protect my surface. Okay. And I used my precision point pen for this. Then I would just put a little dot of glue at the top, decide which ornament topper I would want to use. Here's an orange one, and your pickup tool would be great for this, as well as some tweezers. And I just placed it on the top and moved it into place. Sometimes I did the top and the bottom, and sometimes I just did the top. Okay, and then let's see, what colors do I have here? Let's do orange to match that topper. Okay, so let me put it over here, and I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on there and pick it up with my tweezers. And you just decorate it. You decorate it however you like. And there we go. Let's see, I think I'm going to get another topper and put it down here at the bottom. You have a little bit of time to play with it while the glue is drying. And then what I did is I just came back through with my scissors, and actually my fine tip scissors worked a little bit better. Gets in there really close. And then I just snipped around, and there we go. Simple, easy, super fun punch. You can create how many you want for your layout and any colors that you like. So I hope you enjoyed that. And now let's go back to the video. So I have here the left-hand side, and then I put the insert from the 8.5 by 11 pocket page next to it, because this is what will be kind of laying next to it when the album is open. So I have one nice big chunk. It will go all the way to the edge, so that's great on both sides. Well, I have some other little pieces. I could try to do some fancy cutting. So let's see. I'm going to mark this right here with a pencil because I can't see it that well. And then I will trim it. Okay, so I'm just lining my pencil mark up to that line. And that should do it. And I'll put this right here and put that on the back side. Okay, and this should have been cut at 8.5. So there we go. Then I will bring in a little strip of this. Now this is not going to match exactly to my other side. It's just to kind of bring in some of the same elements. So what I want to do here at the bottom is to bring in some of the avocado green. So I'm first going to go ahead and trim this at 8.5 inches. And I'll mark this right here. Okay, so I'll put this down here at the bottom, the plaid up at the top, and then I'm going to trim this piece is 2 inches. I'm going to trim it right in half at 1 inch, and I'll have a very, very basic page layout. And there we go. So for the most part, it carried over, but it's not an exact replica. Okay, so I'll put that aside and bring in my photos. So I'd want to record the whole story. That's why I have 12 photos, and I'm bringing in the insert. We did start the evening with going to church, so I want to just I only have 3 photos from church because they had a nice little backdrop for us to pose with, so I thought that was super cute. So I have these 2 vertical photos to go right there, and then I have this one horizontal photo of us inside, which I am going to back in some of this cranberry red that we had on the other page. In fact, I might turn it this way so I don't have to trim the photos too much. I think I'll back it in white first and then the cranberry, just to give it a little bit extra oomph right there. Okay, I put the two photos on and I matted this photo, gave it a double matte with some white and some cranberry red. I think that's going to be perfect. But before I put this on, I want to bring in a border sticker. And I'm going to go with this tan looking one because I don't like the seam between the candy cane and the green avocado. So I'm going to put this right here. And I'm using tan because of my Merry Christmas that I had on the opposite page. And so that way I can tie in that as well. I'm just going to snip this off right here, as I can use that for a future layout. Then I'm going to bring back in the photo and I'm going to mount it right over to the side because I want to leave this for some embellishing, add some decoration there. Let me bring this page back in. So this is what it's going to look like. Bring in some more of my ornaments made with that Fiesta punch. Now that you know how I did that, isn't that super easy and super cute? You can customize them any way that you want to. So that way I have the 3 here and the 3 right there. So it'll look really nice. Let me adhere those down, flip this page over, and we'll get ready for the second side of this insert. Hold on. Okay, so I went ahead and put my paper on the other side. I didn't think you had to watch me go through that again. Plus, I did have to piecemeal across this plaid and kind of use up my scrap. So I do have a little bit of seams running through here, but I was able to line up the lines pretty good. And I think once the photos are on, it won't even be seen. So here's the back side of this one. And I'm going to bring in my photos and do some photo placement. And I have 3 more to bring in. Okay, I'm going to put one here and this one up here and then this last picture right here, and that is 12. So yay. And I'm not going to matte any of those. I think they look good as they are. I have this big open spot right here and I wanted to bring in this matte card. I had cut it for another layout earlier in this series and it says making spirits bright, and I just love that because it's on this page with all the pictures of the cocktail that my nephew creates for us every holiday we get together. He creates us this fancy drink. And here's a picture of what it looked like for Christmas. So it has all the photos over here also are showing that drink. So I thought, why not? It's cute. It brings in the blue and it matches the card up here. So it's perfect. So I think the only embellishment that I want to bring in on this page is this little red cardinal bird to match the little cardinal bird that we have over there. And I'm just going to put it just like that. And in fact, I'm going to pop it up onto some foam tape and it'll sit just like that. Now let me bring back in the other page and I'm going to do just a couple finishing touches. Okay, so for my finishing touches, I'm going to bring in this gold thread. It's just regular thread. I'm going to cut it and tie it into little bows. It's really, really fine. Oops. And then I'll put the bows on the top of each of the ornaments like that. So I am going to do that off camera. That's going to be the only finishing touch. I'm going to go here, down all 3 of these and all 3 of those, and that will be it. And I will do that off camera, but I will show you some close-ups. So here's the finished close-up of this journaling card with the embellishments. I love how that I was able to use the large Merry Christmas, as this layout turned out to have a lot of room for that, so I'm super happy about it. And then my cluster of 3 items here, 2 flowers and 1 snowflakes. And then here's the 3 ornaments, and you could see the little bows just kind of give it a little bit of something extra. And then the other 3 ornaments over here are exactly the same. And oops, the back side with the little cardinal, and you'll see I added a little bit of gold thread underneath him just to give it a little bit more pizzazz down there. And then this final embellishment cluster right here on top of the journaling card, where I used the beautiful wreath, the white poinsettia to match the other side, and the brown snowflake to also match the other side. So let me put all these lined up of how they'll go. So those will be the first 2 pages. It'll look like that. And then this insert will come in and show both sides of the insert, and it matches the page. There we go. We did it. That was so much fun. I thank you guys so much for joining me throughout these of Cropping Christmas. I hope that you really enjoyed it and you got some inspiration out of it to scrap your holiday moments. And I will have one more quick video after this one. So come back in a couple days. I will do a layout share and show all 12 of the layouts at once in one short video. Okay, so come on back in a few days, and I'll see you then. And until then, everybody, Merry Christmas and take care. Bye-bye. And if this is the first video you're seeing, or if you haven't seen them all, enjoy this playlist right here where I have all of this year's 12 cropping days of Christmas, as well as last year's 12 days of Christmas, and then another video up here that you may enjoy. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.